Okay, you've seen the title of the video and you're probably thinking I'm mad. And yeah, I'm thinking it too. Although this time, it wasn't solely my idea. The brand new Zest has challenged me to this one. A half marathon every day for a week. And surprisingly, there wasn't a pub or a pint involved in the shaking hands of this challenge. I'll explain more on New Zest very shortly, but they're pretty important in today's videos. They're essentially helping me through the week. And I mean a normal working week, typically working between 9 till 5:30. So I'll be trying to cram my workouts in before and after those hours, as I'm sure many of you have to do too. But I'm intrigued to see how my body copes and what happens to it over the course of the week. And I'll be sharing all of that with you, as well as how I manage that training and fatigue through the week.
Now, before you say it, this is not simply an opportunity for me to gloat about how much or how far I can run in a week. I genuinely do not know if I have this challenge in me. And to be honest, I've never run anything of this distance in a week in my life before. Of course, you may be thinking, well, Mark, of course you can do this. You're an ex-pro athlete. This will be easy for you. And yeah, you are right to a degree. I have a lot of latent fitness. It annoys the heck out of people because I'm going to do some crazy things off very little training. I'm sorry. But I do suggest go check out my Strava and you'll see that for the past few years, I have done very little running, or at least very inconsistent. It's horrifically sporadic. And actually, even when I was racing professionally, I typically average around 60 to 75 kilometers of running per week. Hopefully this week, I'm going to be doing around double that in a week. And crucially, all in single runs per day and around my day-to-day working life. So what am I trying to achieve from this? Well, I really don't know how my body's going to hold up, whether I'm going to crumble after a few days, whether I might struggle with a lack of sleep, struggle with my nutrition. Maybe I'll just be useless at my job. I want to document all of this for you, be as open and as transparent as possible. And maybe we all might learn something from this. Maybe there's some good advice in how we recover during the day, or maybe we fuel pre and post run whilst at work, so on and so forth. So I thought I'd start the week by throwing up some baseline stats, and we can follow and track them throughout the course of the week and see how they change, if at all. Okay, day one, and I'm very tired. I decided to do this one first thing in the morning before work. And yeah, well, it's early for me, 6 a.m. I used to be quite a good morning person, but it seems that I struggle these days. I have got up with enough time to literally just whack my shoes on and go. I really couldn't be bothered getting up at like 5 a.m. to have a big breakfast, digest that. It's just not going to happen, and I'm sure many people out there struggle as well. So what I'm going to do this morning is have one of these good green vitality things, just packed full of nutrients, which is just good day to day anyway, but I'm going to have this before the run, and a banana, so something nice and quick and light, get my system, keep me kind of like stocked up. I'm going to take a couple of snacks with me, a gel or cereal bar, because obviously running a long way. I have just taken my HRV, so my heart rate variability. I did it last night as well, and I just thought that might be really interesting to track throughout the week and see how I get on, if it changes at all, if it fluctuates, along with a load of other metrics, obviously. And well, I'm ready to go this morning. Got a head torch because it is dark outside, so you're not going to see much for the first part of my run. But yeah, let's get going. So I've gone for a pretty safe and straightforward route for day one. Literally just out and back on the canal towpath, which more or less 0 meters of elevation. So just making it as easy as possible for myself, and yeah, making sure I don't regret something I do early on. And also, yeah, just keep it to a nice, easy pace. Obviously, the hillier I go, then the slower I'm going to go. And also that means the earlier I have to get up. So don't really fancy that at the moment. So yeah, out and back today, but get to see this lovely sunrise on the canal. Can't really beat that.
Back we go. Okay, just taking the turn point, halfway point, heading back home now. Just stopped and paused for a second. Although I'm feeling great, feel good to go, just thought I should probably take some food on. I'm actually still feeling quite full from last night's meal and this morning's stuff. But I am obviously naturally burning through the calories, so I'm trying to keep on top of things. Also, because I'm doing a lot this week, I don't want to regret any silly mistakes early on. So, got some food here. But yeah, I'm gonna crack on. I'm going at a good pace, really happy. About 4:30, 4:45 per kilometre. Hopefully I keep this sort of pace and morale and, I don't know, enjoyment going throughout the whole week. We'll see there. First half marathon done, just in time to jump on first morning, cool, and get a little bit of food in, of course. Whew. Good morning, day 2. I can't believe I'm actually saying this on day 2, but I'm struggling already. Obviously, I'm quite fatigued, my body physically, and like aching from a half marathon yesterday. That's understandable, I can deal with that. My issue is I'm just tired, like really sleep deprived this morning, already on day 2. And I know there's people out there with young families probably going, Mark, you don't understand what tired is. And yeah, hats off to you guys, but I'm not someone that needs to have 8-9 hours every night. I'm pretty good at getting up quite tired, getting on with training early in the morning. But this morning was different. Like, my body was almost just saying to me, like, Mark, you did a half marathon yesterday, you worked all day, you didn't stop. I need to sleep, I need to recover and adapt to all that hard work you did yesterday. And I'm really feeling it this morning. Like, I could not get out of bed, have finally got out of bed, and I don't know, I feel like I can close my eyes and fall asleep whilst I'm running. I've gone for flat route this morning, again, on the canal, but the opposite way. Might have to rethink that because already that's getting a bit boring. But I've gone for the easy routes to start off with. Just hope I'm not so tired towards the end of the week.
Okay, I'm glad to be back after that run. It is weird though how you can sometimes feel better as a run goes on. Either way, I'm still going to make sure that I get an early night's sleep tonight because, well, I'm going to be in trouble if it carries on this way. But on that note, I thought I'd quickly, before I get on with the working day, just run through some of the things that I'm doing to essentially help me through this week and help me recover. So the first of which is sleep, and clearly I'm not off to a very good start there, but one thing that I have learned from my years of training and racing is that you cannot perform while sleep deprived. So definitely going to be making sure I get more sleep. And the other is just looking after my body, giving it some TLC. Now, I obviously haven't got time for massages this week, given how much work I'm trying to do and also the running on top of that. But I am going to make sure that I do some mobility, some stretching work, even if it's simply just 1 minute per day, that's going to help. And then the other big one is nutrition pre, during and post run. But often this is actually one of the hardest, particularly when we've got so much going on with trying to do a lot of training, maybe multiple sessions per day, in and around our working life, our family, and other commitments. Now, I obviously try to have a very well-balanced diet with plenty of carbohydrates, protein, etc. But sometimes this can be really hard with everything going on. For instance, I've literally just come in from my run. I've got minutes to go until I start my working day. I need something quick, easy, and full of all this good stuff, the proteins, the minerals and nutrients, etc. So I have teamed up with New Zest for this week, who are a nutrition brand. They're literally giving me a helping hand through this week, keeping me healthy and also helping me to recover as best as possible. So we've got their Good Green Vitality Mix, which is basically a natural daily nutrient boost. It's packed full of fruit, veg, vitamins, minerals, and basically plugging those gaps in my diet, particularly with everything that I'm doing this week. So I'll be having one of these each morning, as well as potentially one also later in the day too. And then we have their Clean Lean Protein, which I have a feeling I'm going to be leaning on quite heavily this week. Again, just providing that extra boost to allow me to repair and recover well during this week. Now, I've always used protein mixes in addition to my diet, simply because I feel that what we're doing as endurance athletes, and particularly as triathletes with multiple sessions per day, is pushing our bodies beyond the norm. So I wanted something quick and easy that I could have in and around my busy working day. And a big bonus to these products is that they are all purely plant-based, which not only sits well with me, but also my stomach. So we don't have any of this heavy sort of sloshing protein mix in our stomach. And we've also got 8 flavors to choose from.
Day 3, you'll notice a big difference to today's half. That's because it's not first thing in the morning for once. Slight change to the schedule for today meant that I didn't need to cram this half in the morning or the evening. I can actually just about squeeze it in midday. I'll tell you what though, that extra couple of hours in bed, oh, godsend. I mean, I just feel so much more refreshed today, ready to go, recharged. Even actually, quite interesting, my HRV has jumped up significantly overnight, by about 10, which is quite big, but I can feel that difference as well. I mean, this isn't to say that you shouldn't train early in the mornings, because I've done that for years, but I think it's just highlighted to me just that importance of recovery when you are really tired and fatigued, sort of listening to your body. And yeah, here I am then, middle of the day. Unfortunately, I am quite tight for time, so I'm having to run this one a little bit faster. Well, I did need to get that done in a short space of time, but I may have got a bit carried away there. That was about 1:28, which is very fast and I should be going, so hopefully that doesn't bite me in the backside later on in the week. Goes to show you though, good rest, good night's sleep, what difference it makes. I am just in from the day 4 night shift because I screwed up pretty bad today. By not going out this morning, I have had to cram the half marathon in this evening. I also finished work a bit later than expected. So yeah, I was quite keen to get going rather than running really late into the evening. Hadn't really eaten enough, so I wolfed down a little bit of food just before going out, thinking that was a good idea. Then end up with a dodgy tummy whilst I was running, a few unexpected stops. Forgot to take any fuel with me, so then I blew up with about 2 or 3k to go. Not too badly, but enough that I'm now questioning whether I can do the next few days. And here I am back home. I'm getting my recovery in straight away, and Cassie, my partner, has literally just finished work very late, and she suggested a takeaway. Don't do that often, and this is kind of a sign of when you've screwed up with your nutrition, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Come on, takeaways are pretty good, aren't they? But yeah, I think I also need to find some motivation for the next few days. Maybe invite a friend, or maybe I might give my dad a message and see if he wants to join me for one, because I just need something to get me through these.
Day 5, woo! I don't feel that excited really. I'm really regretting this. I'm struggling today. Now I did get out first thing in the morning, partly because I've got myself in a bit of a rut and like sleeping in and not getting up and doing it, but also because today is a bit of a weird one. I'm out filming all day and we are doing all run related content today, and there is a chance, particularly in one of these videos, that I'm going to end up having to run around 10 kilometers in total, and quite hard as well. So I didn't really fancy doing a half marathon first thing and then all that running. So I think I'm going to do it the other way around, do the filming first, see how I get on. And I was trying to do it as pure as possible, straight half marathons, but if I'm really struggling later, I may have just to add up all the distance and do whatever's left over.
Day 6, and it's the weekend. You would have thought I'd use the weekend to have a nice line, but no, it is not even 6 o'clock and I am up to do this half marathon. That's because I have booked in for a tip run, so go get rid of a load of rubbish, obviously because of COVID. You have to do that at the moment. I've got that at 9 o'clock and then we've got a lot on today. So I need to get this half marathon done first thing. Fortunately though, I've got my dad with me to keep me company today, so that should be nice. First bit of company on these half marathons is definitely needed today.
Right, that's it.
In the 2 tunnels? Yeah. Woo. Dad's watch is just recorded halfway point. I've had to run an extra about 1.5 kilometers to get to the same, get that same distance. So yeah, I bank on mine being correct. You've got an old watch. Yeah. But now, yeah, little snack break and then we'll get on our way back. We're actually retracing our footsteps now, but it feels like a new run, doesn't it, Dad?
Definitely does.
one way in the dark and then one way in the light. Hey, 6th half marathon done. Thank you, Dad, for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for dragging me along.
We've actually finished about 1 kilometre or 2 away from home, but I think we're both quite keen to stop. So 21.1k, boom, and we're walking the rest home. My legs are done, so yeah, really thankful for Dad coming today to keep me going. Well, back from our tip run and into this, making some decking. We've finished that bit up there, but this is the next project with some weary legs. It's gonna be fun. It's the final day, my final half marathon, and I was super pumped to get up today on Sunday and get this half marathon done. But I've done it again. I've got carried away with things today, various jobs around the house and stuff, and it's the end of the day. It's pitch black outside, so another half marathon in the dark at dinner time. So I'm afraid you're not going to get much footage from this one, but I am really pleased. I'm feeling good. I'm pretty confident I'm going to get this one done. A few people have spotted on Strava that I have been doing this half marathon every day and have suggested, well, you will be quite close to the 100-mile mark for the week. And I've got to be honest, I had thought about that. So that would mean doing around 34k today. And I was up for that, but then I've left it until the end of the day. So may have to leave that one for another time. I'm still super happy that I've managed to do a half marathon every day because I wasn't even sure I could do that originally. So here we go, final half marathon, and then I think we'll sum it all up at the end and I'll let you know kind of what's gone on this week because there's been some interesting bits. It's done, a half marathon every day for a week. Thank you so much for following along with this journey this week. It's been quite a tough one, both physically and mentally, which isn't a surprise at all, but the mental aspect has surprised me more so than ever. That was just the process, getting my head around doing 21.1k each day was
quite tough. You can't just wing that sort of distance. So yeah, I certainly struggled towards the 6th and 7th day of just getting myself out of the door. I've learned a heck of a lot as well, just about myself, and also the importance of HRV. I've always known it's quite important, but just seeing so obviously the impact of bad nutrition or bad night's sleep and how much that impacted on my HRV and my energy levels the following day and how I felt for the subsequent half marathon. So yeah, for anyone out there doing a lot of training, particularly triathletes doing multiple sessions per day, I honestly would really recommend checking out HRV, giving it a little go, having a play with it and seeing how it sort of changes from day to day, because yeah, I've found it very, very important and useful during this week. Also my weight, I tracked that throughout the week. I didn't really see much of a change. It dropped off a tiny bit at one point, but you know, minuscule amounts. That could be down to hydration. So I think I did quite a good job of just fueling myself throughout the week. So there we go, that is 7 days of doing a half marathon every day. I'm pretty pleased to be hanging my shoes up now and getting my recovery shake in, but I think this one deserves an extra recovery shake just to round the week out. So cheers to all of you out there. Thanks so much for following along this week. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. Don't forget to give us a follow over on social media. Check me out on Strava to see these runs that I've done this week, and also give us a subscribe just down below.
It's really not funny. It's so cold.
This is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done.
I've done my fair share of GTN challenges over the years, and today I thought I'd hand it over to Heather and James. And to be honest, I think I'd be pretty terrible at this one anyway.
Well, thanks, Mark. I'm hoping you've got a good book or something, because this is going to be a long day. We have come to Lake 32 in the Cotswolds with the attempt to swim 3.8 kilometres, cycle 180k and run 42k, all without any fuel.
Yeah, it's going to take us a long time if we manage to do it all. So I think we better get going sooner rather than later, because I'd kind of like to finish while it's still daylight.
Yeah. Well, we are going to be fasted for the whole day, which means the last time we ate was last night. But a quick caveat, we would not recommend doing this at home. We've got a medic on site. We're going to be measuring our blood glucose, so safety is covered. We are, however, allowed fluids, so that includes water, electrolytes, and importantly for James, caffeine.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd survive without my morning caffeine hit, so I've had that, some black coffees. Yeah, I mean, I needed that. Those are going to wear off pretty soon, and then you might see hangry James, but we better get going before he arrives.
Just think, guys, the sooner you finish, the sooner you can have some food. I'll be here to support, don't worry. So good luck. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
So whilst these crazy kids are swimming, let me explain the course that they're going to be undertaking here at Lake 32 in the Cotswolds. For the swim, they're going to be doing 2 1,500 metre laps before moving on to 2 400 metre laps for a grand total of 3.8 kilometres. After a swift transition, they will then head out onto a tried and tested bike loop used by triathlon events run from this lake. It's a 28-kilometre loop, so they will attempt to complete the loop 6 times and then finish with a short 6-kilometre out and 6-kilometre back section to make it up to 180 kilometres. If they've made it that far, I suspect we will see a less swift transition into the run, and then they will attempt to do laps of the lake. 3.4 kilometre laps, meaning they will need to do around 12 laps to make it up to 42.2 kilometres. Ouch.
This is a somewhat risky challenge today, so safety is paramount. As Heather has mentioned, they're using glucose monitors on their arms, so they're going to be tracking their blood sugar levels. If they get dangerously low, we're obviously going to act on that. We've also got a medic here on site, and they're going to be keeping an eye on them. We're going to be tracking them throughout the whole course. And also, I'm going to be standing on the roadside and also just checking as to whether they're okay. And again, we'll act on that. And of course, as soon as they finish, as and when they want to finish, they can make that call. We've got food, sugar, everything ready. In terms of the swim, they look like they're doing all right. They kind of look like they're swimming together. James slightly ahead. Yeah, be interested to see how they get on.
Not feeling the effects yet.
Well, which pocket should I put my gels in?
Oh my. So we're looking pretty stable, 116 milligrams. It's on my way down right now, but yeah. I've got over my dizziness. That was nothing to do with blood glucose. I think that's purely due to being horizontal for an hour or so plodding along. Now it's for the left arm bit. And the slightly longer one.
All right, they're both out on the bikes, so I thought I'd stop for a second and explain a bit of the science. Now, glucose is ordinarily the main source of energy for our bodies, and that's stored as glycogen in the liver and muscles. But there's a finite amount, normally around 2,000 calories, and that obviously needs to keep getting topped up. Whereas our fat stores or fat reserves are far greater, normally in the region of around 50,000 calories. And this is where Fat Max comes in, which is basically the maximum amount of fat that they can burn per hour. Now, Heather and I actually did a little experiment on this a couple of years back, and I have the results here. So my Fat Max was 0.83 grams per minute at 14 kilometers an hour, and that was my Fat Max, whereas Heather was 0.78 grams per minute at 12 kilometers an hour. But of course, they're starting with limited glycogen stores, and they're not going to be replenishing them as they go. So they are very much going to need to be relying upon their fat reserves. But this is where things get interesting, because glycogen can be metabolized far quicker than fat. So to make use of that fat, they're going to need to slow the pace down. And this is where something called Fat Max comes in, the maximum amount of fat that you can burn in an hour. Now, for an ordinary person, even at the top end of ordinary, they might be able to burn 1 gram of fat per minute. And if they train that over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, they might be able to get up to 1.5 grams of fat per minute. So you kind of get the idea. This is going to be tough and very much about pacing. How they get on, I'm not so sure. Let's put this into context. Ordinarily during Ironman, you can burn anywhere between 7,000 to 10,000 calories. And many of the pros are training their gut to be able to tolerate in excess of 90 grams of carbs per hour. Heather and James are taking 0 in. I mean, ordinarily by this point, you'd have had a good breakfast before, maybe a gel on the start lane, come out of the swim, had another gel. And I mean, for myself, I'm probably having a gel every 20 to 30 minutes. Again, nothing for these two. I mean, I think James, he has trained himself to be able to do a lot of sessions and be able to actually switch over to using the fat reserves probably quite a lot during his career and experienced that a number of times during some of these long distance races. Heather probably has less experience in that. However, what she does have is that many times she actually underfuels for events, and she'll even admit it herself. She'll go and do a marathon with maybe 1 gel. So perhaps she has got more experience than we realise. So really interested to see how they get on.
But the problem is, I'm so cold that I just don't want to drink anything. So all I've drunk so far today is coffee.
Predicting no rain today. Come to the British Soccer Tom to challenge me a bit further, as if today's not going to be challenging enough.
Well, I've really lucked in today. Not only have I managed to sit out of quite a tough challenge, to say the least. Look at this weather. In fact, it's eased off a bit. It's been pouring it down for the last 20 minutes. The guys are out there on their bikes in very little lycra. I do feel a little bit bad right now.
A bit grumpy at the weather. It's supposed to be sunny and I hate the cold and the rain. When I'm cold, I get hungry. It's not a good combination.
All right, they've both been around on the first lap of the bike now, so they're over 28k into the bike. Fortunately, the weather has eased off, although Heather looked incredibly cold, so we grabbed a gilet for her to keep her warm. I put my bacon back to one side just out of respect when they passed by. Might go grab it again.
This is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done. I mean, doing an Ironman on your own on a random Thursday is pretty dumb on its own. Doing it without any fuel, well,
I'm sure I saw our team sat down, enjoying some food. I'm probably imagining that. I'm sure they're out filming stuff for James, but yeah, in my imagination that's what they're doing. Sure, they're not that cruel though.
funny, as I get deeper into this, I'm starting to learn some things about myself. I mean, it's not like I've never been in these places before where I've run out of energy in a long ride, but I don't think I've ever done it fasted before. Well, in the first hour or so, I barely thought about food. I barely thought about eating anything. It was absolutely fine. And as I've gone, that subconscious voice has started creeping in. I started thinking about food more. And I actually subconsciously, without thinking about it a few minutes ago, just tapped my pocket to see if there was a gel or a bar in there or whatever. And I hadn't even thought about it. There aren't any gels or bars in there, unfortunately. But normally there would be, and it's almost like a pre-programmed thing after so many years of doing long rides. I've also got a bit of a dull headache forming now, which is definitely an early warning sign.
I mean, this is clearly a really tough challenge, but I've just been stood here on my Todd and realised I am the only supporter today. So they're out there doing an Ironman with zero support and with no fuel. Ouch. What's made it worse as well is I've actually missed Heather twice now. Once I was running in to grab her a gilet so we could pass that on to her and keep her warm. And the other time I was filling up bottles for James and Heather. So I haven't actually seen her at all. So she's had no support and she's halfway through the bike almost. Sorry, Heather. But yeah, I hope they're doing all right.
About 10 kilometers to go, it got real. So started to feel a bit lightheaded, serious drop in the power. Basically it was what an endurance athlete would call the bonk, or hitting the wall. Knew it was coming. Sure enough, there it was at 80 Ks. Now, hopefully I never get to this point in a race. But if I got to this point in training, I'd pretty much immediately go into crisis mode, which essentially involves eating everything in sight. I would immediately take some simple sugars, jelly babies, a gel, something, and then also start smashing some serious calories like muffins or energy bars, or taking a good, 500 to 1,000 calories as quickly as possible, and I'd be pretty confident I'd come out the other side, or at least be able to keep going. Today though, as I say, there's not a calorie in sight, and in theory my fat metabolism should kick in and I should be able to maintain my power output, albeit at a significantly lower intensity, essentially forever. But that's the theory. the reality is I'm not sure I believe that. I mean, if I am an average fat burner, I'm gonna produce about 300, maybe 350 calories an hour. And I think my basal metabolic rate is probably around 200 calories an hour, leaving me only about 150 calories to pedal the flat, which is not gonna get me very far or very fast. I guess that's what we're here to find out today. So this is British summertime weather, and earlier I was joking about how this is what you expect in summer. It's not a joke anymore. I'm kind of off at the British weather, man, and the British weather. I told you Henry James is going to come out sooner or later. Guess he's arrived. So I'm gonna have to call it. 4 laps, 112 Ks. I've been out there for 3 hours and 37 minutes plus the swim, so what's that, 4 hours 45 or so. And if it was a sunny, warm day, I'd probably keep going and just crawl along. I'm crawling now. I'm holding like 120, maybe 140 watts at a good moment. 22, 23 Ks an hour. I'm really struggling. And the problem is, with the cold and the wet, I'm just getting hypothermic and there's no energy, so I can't keep warm. So I'm just getting colder and colder and colder, and it's absolutely tipping it down. And with no energy, I can't keep warm, so I'm getting colder and colder. I'm getting a little bit hypothermic.
Welcome to the UK.
So, yeah,
This was your initiation after
yeah,
the initiation.
after my initiation, yeah, British summer triathlon. It's been quite an experience, I'm not gonna lie.
Well done, mate.
Learned a bit about myself. I think I'm gonna warm up and maybe go sit somewhere warm and get some food in me, and then we can do a bit of a debrief.
Let's hear what you've learned.
Yeah,
So that you don't like triathlon anymore.
yeah, or Britain summer, or the rain, or the cold. Some of these things I already knew.
God, this is really so funny. It's so cold. And it's supposed to be about what I feel right now. This sucks. It absolutely sucks. And it's not because I'm hungry. It's freaking freezing. And I'm so cold. And it's getting battered by this rain. It was not so awful. I'm miserable. Very miserable. Well, right now I'm struggling to feel much other than cold. And I'm struggling to drink, so I can't really move my hands. But I'm not hungry, which is weird.
You got your arms back.
12 K to go.
Okay.
So I feel like if you ever out on a night out and you forget to eat before you go out, and then suddenly feel really drunk and quite sick, and that's what I feel like. It could be dehydration. I suddenly got thirsty. I drank a whole bottle of water out. Yeah, so basically had 1 bottle of water for 4 laps, and then, no, for 5 laps. And then that 6th lap I just drank a whole lot of electrolytes, and I'm still thirsty. And I think I could be feeling this terrible because I'm dehydrated. It's hard to know if it's that or lack of sugar. But I am also craving jelly babies, so it could be sugar that I need. I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel great all of a sudden. But I've only got 9k to complete the bike, and then we'll think about the run when we get there. 6k to go, and it's funny how like the 170 or 160k felt so easy, and I've only got 6k to go, and it feels like it's impossible to ride 6k. I don't really get it, because I wouldn't bonk 170k into a ride, but I've obviously not had enough glycogen in my muscles for that, so I've been eating fat, but something's changed. Something just hit me, big time. And I don't think it's just the thought of the run. Oh god. Oh, no, it's just such a weird one, because I never like to give up on anything, and it's weird because I know if I stopped I could eat, but I want to try and do this. So, but it's weird when it's having to listen to your body. But in any normal circumstances, if I was listening to my body right now, I would have some sugar and everything would be fine. But I know I can't do that. So the only other option is listen to my body and ignore it, or listen to my body and stop and not complete the Ironman. So yeah, it's very weird. Weirdly, I've got 3k to go, that's 6 hours now on the bike, and I've only ever done 2 Ironman events, and my bike was about 6 hours in those, and I trained, so yeah, and I'd obviously eaten when I did them, so it's a bit strange that apart from the fact I feel absolutely dreadful right now, there's not much difference from when I'm eating. However, I did then go on to complete a marathon, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen.
That me.
There you go. Oh, geez, everything's moving.
Yep. That was me after 80Ks, so you're doing well.
I don't know if it's dehydration or because I literally drank. Oh my goodness. Oh. World's slowest transition, but that's not the challenge today. The challenge is to see if it is possible to do an Ironman without fuel, and I'm doubting that it's possible, but here we go on the run, see how far we get. So yeah, the horrific dizziness of just feeling like everything's moving, that's gone. Doesn't mean I feel great. And it means I feel better. I still feel a bit sick, and I'm worried that actually my limiting factor might be a stitch. I've got a mild stitch at the moment, and I have in the past had a stitch when my stomach's empty, which sounds stupid, but it's a thing for me. I had a quick look at my glucose numbers, and it's really odd, but they've gone up. I don't know if that's affected caffeine or running, but where's that come from? It's gone from 60 up to 90 in quite a steady line. It may be amazing if it keeps going, but I don't really understand the logic there. Maybe just being upright, caffeine. Psychologically I feel better, but I can't figure out what's happening physiologically. So no idea what is going on. I am surprising myself with the pace at the moment, but it's what feels comfortable, so I'm not overthinking it. I'm not running to a pace, I just look at my watch every time I reach the K, and they're all, apart from the transition which I walk, so that's every 3 and a bit K, they're all around 5 minutes.
So I'm still going 26k in, but my stomach's starting to complain a little bit, so just had a quick bathroom stop and back on the road. Who knows for how much longer. But there is a bit of a stitch coming on the right hand side. That's kind of not got worse. That's another 458k, so I'm still on pace, even though it feels slower. Starting to have this internal debate now. 32k, and I just had a check on my blood sugars, and they're just kind of not doing anything, and I want them to just crash because I want to stop. And I'm really debating what to do. The boys have been patiently waiting for hours, and I'm starting to feel really quite rough. Yeah, it's getting close to crunch time. I'm not sure I've got another 10k in me, or that I really need to push myself into that dark place. But in a race, that's a 5:15, so 10 seconds slower on that K. So yeah, I'm starting to sort of think about where this might end now. I haven't finished, but I finished.
Ah, you finished, yeah, brilliant. Well done.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm just starting to break a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just feel a bit rough.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Funny that. Yeah, funny that.
Oh.
Very
I mean,
impressive.
Really impressive, though. Really.
33k. So you guys might be like, why don't I just do another 9? And might sound big-headed. I could. I mean, my total time is about 10 hours at the moment, taking out our very long-winded transitions. So I've got another 7 hours to do 9k. So I'd like to say that, yes, you can do it unfueled. You can come back at me and say I didn't, yeah. But I don't need to break myself anymore. I'm done.
There's no t-shirt for this one, is there?
Exactly. Not even a finisher medal. So what's the point?
We'll make you a t-shirt.
Brilliant. That was really good.
Oh, thanks.
That was, yeah, well done.
Thanks, guys. Sorry for keeping it so long.
All right, so it's been a couple days and quite a few meals since we went through that fairly traumatic event of trying to do an Ironman with no fuel, and we've crunched our Super Sapiens numbers, so our blood glucose, and we were tracking it the whole day. Some interesting numbers and some interesting analysis that comes out of it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the line showing where you should be for performance and where you should be for recovery. And I actually started off, amazingly, in the performance zone without anything to eat in the morning. And for my swim, it kind of actually went up towards the end of it, which I don't know if I was kicking harder and I was using more blood glucose, but I started off at 123 and then actually finished at 132, so came out feeling fine.
It's very impressive numbers. In fact, Heather's numbers are pretty much better than mine the whole way through, because at no point through the whole swim was I even in the performance zone. I never even touched it. I was below 100 the whole day, and I got out of the swim and then I had like this zigzag where my blood glucose went up and down for a bit as I settled in on the bike, and from there it was pretty much just downhill.
Yeah, I was downhill. I never had the zigzag at the start, but I guess I started higher. But mine's just a really steady slope all the way down. And then, and I think you had this as well, but just quite a bit sooner, at around 170 odd K, I just went down.
Yeah. 170 odd K she was doing really well. I felt good, okay? I felt good in those first couple laps, but my blood glucose was going down. And then I had a serious dip. It dropped quite low. It dropped to like
what was your lowest?
60s. And then I thought, I kind of came through it and I felt better for a bit, and I was okay. And you can actually see that on the graph, it went back up a bit, and then it seriously crashed. And that was at about 80 Ks. It happened to be the same time it was absolutely pouring with rain, and I couldn't pedal the bike, so I couldn't generate any warmth, and I just got
What
really
number
cold.
did you hit? What was rock bottom?
It was well below 50. I went
okay.
well below 50 for a while, and that was right when I just I had a major crash. It wasn't a bike crash, but it was a blood sugar crash, and I nearly actually crashed my bike. I was seriously dizzy. It was I couldn't really see the potholes and stuff coming towards me. It was quite hazardous, and adding the rain on top of that, I couldn't go any further. Heather only had
Well,
a
I can
dip.
empathise with the feeling because I mean,
Yeah.
I did that and it went down to 70, and actually I started the run at 66, which was my lowest of the whole day, and I had to hold on to things. I was properly.
We were there. Obviously, I'd stopped well before that when Heather finished her bike, and she was in pretty bad shape, and we were basically almost taking bets amongst ourselves, going, "Yeah, she's done. We can go home soon." And then,
I mean, yeah, this is the interesting bit. So then I started at 66, and it just like shot up for the first bit of the run. Yeah, and then it just kind of stayed like this little wiggle at the end, and I was just on court until I actually stopped, and then I felt horrific. But yeah, that's another story.
Well, I also felt horrific when I stopped, and my blood sugar, no matter what I ate, didn't come back up for a while. Heather was obviously, what happened there was she went into that fat burning zone, which we predicted you should have been able to do, and then keep going at a really low intensity for a really long time, which is exactly what she showed, exactly what she did. So well done to you for doing that.
I mean, it does
Did
just
way
show,
better than me.
Yeah, it shows us going at a slow pace, and I think it would be different if we were, say, trying to do a 70.3 or something, but I would love to see you come back and do it fueled. I know you're not fit anymore, but what difference it would make?
Well, I've done plenty of Ironmans and 70.3s field, and we
But
know,
not in
we
a-
know
not
how
in-
I
not
can do
since
them.
retirement,
So I don't think
James.
we need to do that, and I'm definitely not doing a no-field Ironman ever again, even though I never made it. I'm just not interested. It got pretty bleak at some point
Yeah,
there.
I think that
we're
was
done
obvious.
with this. Yeah, I think we've showed everything we need to show. I never got into that fat burning zone where I could just keep going forever, but I'm sure I would have if it wasn't cold and wet.
I'm sure, yeah. We'll do one in South Africa next time. Well, I mean, I think the moral of this is you do need to have fuel to do an Ironman. Even if it might be possible, we would not recommend doing it at home, and nailing your fueling strategy is really important. And we've got lots of videos on that, so go and check those out. But hopefully our suffering has been some enjoyment for you guys. Please give us a like, if anything, just for that cold that we suffered. And remember, click on the globe and you won't miss any more GTN videos.
Over the past few years, I've been pushing myself out of my comfort zone and embarking on some rather long ultra running challenges, partly due to my own intrigue, but also to entertain you guys out there and maybe even inspire some of you along the way. And today, I found a new one. I've just started a rather unique challenge. I'm going to be running 48 miles or 77 kilometers, which doesn't sound too bad until you hear the fact that I must cover 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. The 4-4-48. 4 a.m. That graveyard shift. I'm hoping it just gets easier from here on.
All right, this is the plan for the next 2 days. So I'm starting at 4 p.m. on Thursday, which is in just a couple of hours' time, and it's fashionably just started raining outside. Lovely. And then I'm going to be finishing exactly 48 hours later at 4 p.m. on the Saturday. And I'm actually going to be mixing up a little bit. So I am going to start off at home here, and then I'm literally going to move around locations, jotting around, jumping around, meeting different people for different runs, jumping in my car, getting the train, so on and so forth. So I've made myself a plan so I know where I need to be and when I need to be there. Otherwise, I definitely will forget. Now, obviously, I'm covering a heck of a distance here, and it is far, but that's not the bit that is worrying me the most. It's actually the recovery and the sleep deprivation, because I've worked this out. So 4 miles, that's probably going to take me in the region of 40 minutes per run. That's leaving me somewhere around 3 hours 20 between each of the runs. That's time for me to get changed if I even decide to, try and get some sleep, food, move location, so on and so forth. That is not much time. And I know that may not sound like that much, but I feel like that is going to catch up and bite me in the backside later on. So yeah, wish me luck. I think it's time I start getting ready for this first run. All right, here we go. Timer is starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, first run. Let's do this. Well, the rain has stopped for me, fortunately. Does mean though, it's a little bit wet and foggy along the canal. So I've certainly christened my Box Fresh shoes for today on run number 1. You've got to do that at some point, haven't you?
one done.
How did it go?
That's good. Just 47 hours and 29 minutes remaining.
Easy.
Lovely. Now time to warm up, get dry, get some food in, pack my stuff up, and head on over to Bath to meet some other people for run number 2.
This is brutal. Only one run down. I've just had to peel myself off the sofa from this very cozy living room. My partner cuddled up there with the dog. Run number 2. Here I come, off to Bath.
Wow, how cool is this? I've come into Bath. I've got a group of runners who've come out to run with me and motivate me. So thanks ever so much to them, but also to all you guys out there who sent in messages of support, and also those that have done the 448 before and sent in a bit of advice. The common theme seems to be try to get the sleep in where you can, because sleep deprivation is hard. Now, a bit of a background on the 448. It is the brainchild of David Goggins, also called the Goggins Challenge. And if that name seems familiar, that's because he's an ex-Navy SEAL, ultra-marathon runner, ultra-distance cyclist, just a bit of an all-round legend, really. And he hosts the 448 each year, normally around April, May time, I believe. But he's given us the all clear, the green light, the thumbs up for us to do it now, partly because it's kind of a less busy time of year for us triathletes. So if you're feeling inspired, please do organise your own 4448. Talking of which, I've got a group of rather cold-looking runners behind me that have kindly come out. They're sheltering out of the rain. It's just gone 8 p.m, so I think it's time we get run number 2 on the road. Let's do it.
Thank you, everyone.
Brilliant. Hey.
So, run number 2 down. I've got a good few hours now until run number 3 at midnight. So, what better way to kill time than a couple of drinks? Hey! Two familiar faces. We are falling out of the pub at midnight off for run number 3. I've still managed to hang on to a couple of them from run number 2. They were lured in by a couple of drinks. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming. All jokes aside, it was brilliant having the company and meeting some new people. However, it's still very early on in the challenge, and I do have an underlying nervousness as to what I'm taking on and how I'm going to feel as I get further in. If you would like to show your support, I have decided to raise money for the Challenged Athletes Foundation, a charity that aims to provide opportunities and support to people with physical challenges so that they can pursue active lifestyles and get involved in sport. They do an amazing job, so any contributions are very much appreciated. All proceeds go directly to CAF. The link to the CAF fundraising page is in the description below this video. I'll be discussing more about CAF later on, but for now, it's time to get this show on the road. Well, run 3 done. All the lovely people that have come in to run with me have gone. The camaraderie's gone, sadly. So it's just me. Yeah, I'm gonna head home, try my hardest to get some sleep, get some shut-eye, because I'm gonna need it. And then I'm gonna head out for a run on my own at 4 a.m. If I can, I might convince Reggie, my dog, but knowing him, it'll be a flat no. So yeah, let's get going. Home.
All right, I get it. This is hard. Run number 4 a.m. I have managed to sleep, but a very small amount. And yeah, I'm up. This hurts. I really want to be asleep right now. Okay, so another 4 miles. On my own this time as well, which is making it even harder. In the dark. Let's do this.
Despite a couple of very kind offers, I actually chose to run at 4 a.m. alone, simply to allow me to roll out of bed minutes before the run and straight back. But I must say, the lack of company when it's cold, dark, wet, and my body hasn't woken up is hard. I managed a little over an hour's sleep before this run and hope to get near to 2 hours after this one. Ouch. I'm certainly looking forward to the company again soon.
Yeah, run 4 done. To be honest, I did wonder at the start of this challenge, how hard could it really be? I mean, 4 miles, it's quite manageable. And it is at the moment. I'm sure I'm going to regret saying that. But that was really hard, getting up in the middle of the night and going for it. And this is only first night. God knows how it's going to feel another 24 hours later, getting up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. So yeah, I am going to go straight back to bed. I'm very dehydrated, so I'm going to get some water, get a protein shake in, and just get to bed.
Here's Brian.
Morning.
Hey. We're off for a little jog around Odd Down. Oh, it's good having someone to motivate me and get me out.
After they finish batting.
Run number 5. Thanks, Brian.
Done.
Woo!
Now time for some breakfast.
Yeah, buddy.
Here he does a good coffee as well.
Time for some emergency supplies. I know they always say you shouldn't go to the shops when you're hungry, but I'm doing it. Yeah, got myself some little treats. There are some greens underneath there, don't worry. Yeah, I'm gonna need these. Oh, I tell you what, it is nice to be home. Had a shower, had a shave, feel a bit more human, and yeah, just chilling out a little bit. Had a bit of food, and I'm just kind of sorting a bit of admin now, charging lights, uploading a bit of footage. Yeah, it's nice not to actually be kind of popping between pubs or restaurants or something just to keep warm. But yeah, it's been really cool running with Brian this morning, and now I'm going to meet up with some other people who are coming actually to my house very shortly, in half an hour's time, for run number 6. All right, let's get all this stuff sorted.
Hey! Hey boy, ready for another run?
Yeah. Run number 6.
Yeah, the sun's shining. Hey! Ready to go?
We got a guide as well. Here you go.
Yeah.
Lead bike.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
Mark's taking us up some steep hills now. Not sure that's wise when you're only 48 miles and might regret this later. 48 hours.
Another one in the bank.
Yep.
Guys, last one. That passed so much quicker than my 4 a.m. one.
All right, so we're Mark is halfway through his 6.4 Ks every 4 hours for 2 days challenge. It's not very catchy, is it?
4 miles every 4 hours, 48 hours.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's how it goes. Yeah, but okay. He's halfway through. 24-hour run is coming up just in a little while now. He's run 6 times. 24 miles covered, nearly a marathon. How are you feeling?
Good, and a lot better having your company for the last run. 4 a.m. was disgusting.
very limited sleep. I think I had about 3 hours in total last night, just very disjointed sleep. I know you're very used to this.
Keep that up for another 6-8 months and then you know what it's like to have twins.
But the worst bit actually was just getting out the door. It was hammering it down. It was
He means
cold.
rain when he says hammering it down. It was pouring with rain.
Yeah, it was cold. I basically, because I was trying to get as much sleep as possible, I woke up about 5 minutes before. So it was just a bit of a horrible experience. But I'm getting there.
Hopefully it won't rain tonight for your 4 a.m. one. Any niggles, any injuries creeping in 24 miles in?
No, feeling a little bit tender in my legs at the moment, but nothing to be too concerned about. I have been quite sensible with my foot choice this time. Now, I've done a couple of these kind of silly distance events before, and I have once before had a little issue with my ankles, and from that I did learn to use a well-cushioned shoe. So I've actually, I don't know if this is a bit rude picking this up at the table, but I'm using the On-Cloud Strata, so it's quite a well-cushioned shoe. I used it for Norseman actually, which is when I did have a bit of a niggle in my ankle and had no issues during the event. So yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good, yeah.
Well, good luck with it, Mark. I won't be seeing you at 4 a.m., but maybe I'll see you for your last run tomorrow morning.
Thanks, mate.
Run number 7, and it's cold. I was meant to be meeting a friend who, unfortunately, has just broken their toe. So Reggie is coming with me. Aren't you, Reg? Aren't you? So if it's a slow run, it's Reggie's fault, okay? Ready? Let's go.
Right, I have been pre-warned on these challenges, or the 4-4-48, to keep it simple. 0 elevation or as little as possible. Keep it flat, keep it simple, keep it easy, just tick those runs off. So I couldn't help myself. I mean, look at this view. Sun setting, moon's come up. I just had to go for it. Went for the hilltop, lovely trail up. To be honest though, this is what running's all about to me. Dreamy. Wow. Love it. Come on, Reggie. Onwards. Let's do it. Go, go, go. This way. This way. What he's doing now is trying to distract me with sticks. Just trying to find sticks for me to throw to him so that he doesn't have to run. Anyone else got a dog like that? Got a collie because we thought he'd be super active.
Oh, I'm feeling tender. Time to get the foam roller out. Fire on. Bit of TLC time.
Run number 8. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. And I've come to meet some more people. I'm running with my local running club, Avon Valley Runners, and I've got Gary and Tim kindly out to join me. So we're going to do a couple of loops around Bradford-on-Avon. Thanks, guys. Cheers for coming. Hey, awesome. Let's do it.
Well, this is what I love about the running community. Everyone has got behind me and offered to join me and help me along, even at the most unsociable of hours. Speaking of which, now is probably a good time to tell you more about the Challenged Athletes Foundation, what they do, and what really motivated me to do this challenge in the first place.
Well, this is really awesome. Today I'm joined by all-round legend of triathlon, Bob Babbitt, and also co-founder of the Challenged Athletes Foundation, CAF. Hi, Bob. Thanks so much for joining me midway through this epic challenge.
Anything that David Goggins comes up with is going to be hurtful.
I tell you what, a mean man.
Suffer. If Goggins' name is connected to basically running 4 miles, every 4 hours? So you're about 20 some miles into this thing?
That's right, yeah. I've just done leg 8 and I've been through the night. I'm quite sleep deprived. I had about 3 hours last night. I'm not looking forward to the next 4 a.m. shift coming up, but I'm doing okay. I feel okay. And I'm really fortunate people have come out and joined me for pretty much every run so far, which has been so cool. But it's all for a good cause. I am obviously doing this for the Challenged Athletes Foundation, CAF.
CAF, which you have been pivotal in. You've been there from the start with CAF. So I'm really keen to, well, for myself also, to learn a little bit more about CAF, but also educate some of our viewers out there. So what does the CAF or Challenge Athlete Foundation do?
Well, what we do is really everything goes back to when a buddy of ours actually goes back to the sport of triathlon. So a buddy of ours was a football player, American football player at Yale back in 1985, and he was going to acting classes on his motorcycle, was hit by a bus, thrown 90 feet in the air, dead on arrival, lived, lost his lower left leg, and with a walking leg, came back and ran a 3:16 marathon, right? Not the high-tech stuff you see today. But so then I met him when I had Competitor Magazine in Kona. He came over to the Ironman World Championship and went 10:42. This is like late 80s, early 90s, 10:42 with a walking leg. So he became, the Pele of challenged athletes, right? The one-legged guy who can do anything. Well, 8 years later, he was doing a triathlon, and a van goes through a closed intersection, hits the back of his bike, propels him headfirst in the pole. Guy's an amputee, becomes a quadriplegic. And that's when myself and two buddies got together. And the goal was, we knew the sport of triathlon. Let's put on a little triathlon. We'll raise $25,000 and we'll get Jimmy a van with hand controls. Because when you're paralyzed, you lose independence. And all of a sudden, mom and dad are back in your life. So that was the goal. Raised 25. We ended up raising 49. Thought our job was done. And then 3 amputee women who were friends of Jimmy and had participated as a relay came to us and said, hey, it's great what you did for Jimmy, but did you know if you get injured, your health insurance covers a walking around leg or an everyday wheelchair. Nothing to do with sport is covered because they consider sport a luxury item. So we decided to get our, what we call a 501(c) and become official charity. And if someone needed a piece of equipment, training, or travel to stay in the game of life through sport, CF would be there forever and a day. And now it's been 28 years. We've raised $134 million. We've sent out over 35,000 grants to athletes in 73 countries around the world in 105 different sports, Mark. Who knew there were 105 different sports?
That is amazing. What a story. So how do you help these people on a day-to-day basis? What sort of support do they receive?
Say you've got somebody who needs a prosthetic leg. They want to run. They're getting a walking leg from their doctors, but those high-tech prosthetic running legs are $15,000. Our partnership with OSER, which makes those high-end legs, that allows us to present these high-end prosthetic legs to these kids and adults, and it changes their life. We both know there's power in sport. Sport makes you better in everything you do, right? Makes you a better parent, makes you a better employee, employer. It's an essential part of life, and if we can provide sport, then we feel pretty good.
Wow, that's giving me goosebumps. I mean, if that doesn't move you, I don't know what would. So, guys out there, please, this is an amazing charity. So, if you would like to donate, we are popping the link for the fundraising and charity page below this video. So please get involved and donate should you wish to. But thanks ever so much, Bob, for joining us today. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. Thanks again.
Mark, thank you. And best of luck with the rest of your run, man. Go kick it.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's 4 a.m. Graveyard shift. Oh, man. This is disgusting. It's right in the middle of sleep. Broke that sleep pattern rhythm. That said, I don't think this is any harder than yesterday's 4 a.m. shift, so it's a bonus. But yeah, at least we set my alarm as close to 4 a.m. so I just roll out of bed, but it means I'm very stiff, very cold. We're getting it done. That was probably the one I've been dreading the most. Done. Fini. Straight back to bed for me. Trying to get as much sleep as I can. Don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad. Just would quite like a little bit more sleep. Right. Let's go. Run number 11. Gotta be honest, I've slightly delayed this one, which I know is outside the rules. But I'm gonna do the park run. How cool is that? Got the company. team partner, and Joe. Hey. It's all the hard stuff done. Now on the flat. That's good. Almost there now. We're almost finished.
Did you manage to make it 4 miles, or do you have another mile left to go?
Oh, I have actually got about a K to go. Bath Park run, done. I went slowly, I went with some friends, which was really nice. Again, just really cool running with other people. Gotta be honest, pretty bleary-eyed this morning. I think I had about 4 hours sleep last night, had about 3 the night before. Oh, yeah, I feel a tiny bit fragile. But yeah, I am currently at 5.5K, so I've got about another K to go. So as much as it pains me, I've got to keep going. See you guys in a bit. Almost done. Yep, I am 44 hours in. That means I've done 44 miles, or actually a bit more because I've kind of played it safe on some and been running with others, and they've taken me a little bit further than maybe I would like to. But I'm feeling good. Only thing with having bent the rules slightly to do the park run and going at 9 a.m, which I think was worth it because I got to run with some really amazing people, is that I had less rest between the park run and this run. So I've only had sort of, I don't know, 2.5 hours at most. So this is it. I'm almost there, guys. How cool is this? Right, let's do it. Oh, my legs are definitely a bit tender now. Been feeling okay, but yeah, definitely a slight wince on every step. But yeah, going all right. I was here at 4 a.m, back again. Nice little loops a lot down track. So one of the minor things you wouldn't really think about with this that actually makes it quite hard is not just the lack of recovery or sleep, it's also the fueling. So obviously I'm hungry, but trying to get fuel in that's not too heavy and then affecting the next run, which might be in just like 2 hours time or something. So I've been struggling with that a bit. I've been having protein shakes, protein bars quite a lot just to kind of get the calories in, try and recover as best as possible. But yeah, just had a bacon bagel. I've got stitch. Actually, it's the first stitch of the 48 hours, so I've done quite well. But yeah, there's been a few unpleasant stomach feelings going on, but yeah, not too bad. Well, that is 48 miles and some. The 4:4:48. David Goggins, you are a mean man. That is some serious challenge. I knew it was going to be tough, but it's tougher in so many ways that I really wasn't expecting. The eating, obviously the sleep deprivation, and also just moving around, meeting different people, which was amazing, don't get me wrong, but that did add another complication and element of fatigue to it all. But yeah, guys, thanks so much to all of you for your support, the messages I received, those that came out and ran with me. Please do check out the Challenged Athletes Foundation website, see the amazing work that they do. And if you would like, please do donate to the charity. We've got the link in the description down below this. It really is a fabulous charity. And if you would like, you can also check out one of our videos on the channel, also in the description down below. But a couple of people have also messaged and said, are you going to do 12? Or 13. And what they mean by that is I have technically finished. I've done the 48 miles. I did my last run at 12 o'clock, but the clock runs through until 4 p.m, which is now. And so do I do an additional bonus run, a 13th run? What do you think David Goggins would do? I think he'd do the 13th run, wouldn't he? So here I go. Cheers.
We're in Kona. It's one of triathlon's most famous locations, and therefore one of triathlon's most famous routes. But really, the route is boring. Out and back in the ocean, then out and back in the highway, and then out and back along the same highway for the run. So we've decided to change it up. And by up, we mean up. We're going to the other Kona course, up a massive volcano, Mauna Kea.
Taking serious strain now.
Right, well let's do it then. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The start may look familiar, and it is. It's the iconic Kona Pier where the Ironman World Champ starts. But this is just the start of a Kona course, which is very, very different. Today we are going to be climbing Mauna Kea. After our token swim in the Pacific Ocean in Kona, which is of course at sea level, we will mount our bikes, and after about 100 meters, we will begin climbing. Up and out along the Hawaii Belt Road. This road travels parallel to the famous Kona course of the Queen K, but higher up the mountain. We'll then turn right on the Daniel K. Inouye Highway onto the Saddle Road. Turning off this road at its highest point, we head up the volcano itself. We'll stop and dismount our bikes after 90 kilometers at an elevation of 2,865 meters at the Mauna Kea Visitor Center, before running, or walking, the final 14 kilometers to the summit of Mauna Kea at 4,207 meters, or 13,803 feet above sea level.
Token swim done.
Yeah, swim done. Flattest part of today's route. Finished.
More of a wake up than anything.
Yeah.
Now for a relatively leisurely transition, and then for the big one.
Yep. Right, let's go.
This is quite possibly the stupidest thing we've ever done. I mean, this.
Oh, I don't know about that. But I mean, it's up there.
This is serious.
Excuse the pun.
Like this is serious. Like the elevation that we are trying to go to. This is. Yeah, next level.
It's going to be an adventure anyway. Let's get going.
All right.
Before it gets any hotter.
Easy start. Pace it well. Okay.
Yeah.
So we put a call out to friends to see if anyone wants to join us today.
Funnily enough,
No one did.
other than one man. Say hi, Mark.
Hello.
Hey.
So we're using him. Put him on the front.
We're climbing already. So, yeah, pretty much just uphill. Grinding away. Easiest gear already. 30 minutes in. And it's going to be the easiest gear the whole day, I think.
Yeah, challenging day for the boys today up the volcano. Very steep climb. It's very hot already. It's although it is going to get a bit cooler the higher they go, which is going to be one saving grace. High humidity. Obviously they've got the altitude to contend with the higher they get, and so I'm here driving the support wagon, making sure they're hydrated, making sure they've got enough calories, and just keeping an eye on them because it's going to get quite serious up near the top, I think.
Now we can see the mountain. It looks tall. We're getting there though.
We can see the mountain, kind of realising what we've taken on here. It's massive. Chucking my way through my electrolytes and fluids, which is good. Hopefully just stay on top of it now.
Stopped for
quick toilet break, which is a good sign, means we're fairly hydrated, all of us. Just stocking up on some food and fluids quickly. And on. We're doing well though. We've been flowing along quite nicely. But yeah, early days, and we can see the mountain ahead of us.
We're about, in terms of distance, they're about halfway when they get here on the turn, and here they are, but not halfway in terms of elevation, so this is really going to start kicking up soon. They've had a nice little recovery section now, off they go up the hill.
So as we get closer to the mountain, kind of objects on the mountain put the whole scale and size of it into perspective. Obviously it looks large from a distance away, but as you get closer, you start to realise just how small those trees and buildings are. It's massive.
We got a bit of a tailwind coming up this long drag, so we're absolutely cooking. As you can see, the sweat is running off me, so trying to keep the salts and the fluids going, so we're going to need those later on, and then hopefully it cools down a little bit later on.
You can see I'm very conscious. For me, I sweat a lot and I lose a lot of sodium, so I'm literally electrolytes in every bottle I can.
A little over halfway on the distance, and about a third of the way through the climbing. Yeah. So those are worrying numbers.
Yeah, we're trying to be very cautious with our intensity.
Conservative.
Which is why you've probably seen our friend Mark pulling ahead, and we're just letting him go and doing our own thing.
We've ticked over 1,500 metres now, which is where physiologists actually, I think, describe high altitude starting. So if the guys weren't feeling it too much below, then they will be starting to feel it now. 1,500, you often see people going on altitude training camps just above this kind of height to really drive adaptations with low oxygen. So although we're going a lot higher today, they'll be starting to feel it. And they come in here, I reckon we can just see them coming down the road in the background.
Just grabbing a bit to eat. It's all going fairly well, but we're gotta go a little bit further along this road before turning off. And well, from what I can see on my Wahoo, it really kicks up. I don't know the exact grade it kicks up to, but it almost makes what we've been riding on look flat on my head unit. I'll feed back to you in real time what that percentage is. So I'll get some food in whilst I can.
Stop in some food, some fluids, some more sunblock, because solar radiation is intense. It's probably be our final stop before we get to the end of the bike leg at the visitor centre, we think, unless things get nasty, in which case we might need another one. But yeah, we're getting there now. Final stop on the bike and then run leg. Now past 1 mile, 1,600 meters elevation, which is as high as Boulder, Colorado for all you tri geeks, and we are not even halfway up our elevation. We have ridden nearly 60 k's, so another 34, 35 or so to go.
We're a good 2/3 of the way into the ride in terms of distance, but only about halfway in terms of elevation. So the guys were very chipper at the last stop, getting a few drinks in, and probably though, if I'm honest, maybe they're underestimating what's to come, because we're going to take a left turn in a few miles and we've got a lot of elevation to make up, so it's going to get very real very quickly.
Warm-up's finished. Now we start the real triathlon. Just turned onto the access road to the summit. 6 miles to the visitor station, and then another 13 Ks to the top. Running, walking. See how we go. We're a little bit behind planned schedule, so not surprisingly.
As James says, it's serious stuff now. We've got probably about 9K to go here now, and around 800 meters of elevation still to gain before we jump off our bikes and onto the run. So yeah, I might be saving as much oxygen as I can from now on.
We're almost bang on 2,100 meters of altitude now up here. That's kind of a point where the body really starts to feel it, because you get noticeably less oxygen in the blood, and it's getting steeper. Just waiting for the guys to come through. They were still looking good actually the last time we saw them coming across the bottom, although they were saying they were having to slow their pace a little bit, so hopefully they'll still be feeling okay here. But I think from beyond here and further up, they're really going to feel it in their breathing. Early in the morning when we were down, much lower down, close to the sea level, it was probably about 27, 28 degrees Celsius, and up here it'll be hotter down there now, and up here it's already dropped to just over 20, so I'd imagine it's going to get really quite chilly the further up we go as well.
Is this a real deal now, isn't it?
Yeah, heavy breathing from here on up.
Yep. Less talking, more breathing.
Looking good though.
How you feeling, boys? Not too bad. Could do with another couple of gears though. How you feeling, James?
Taking serious strain now. Near it, this descent, but it's like consistently over 13%.
For sure. I'm just going to take these gels out of here. Put those. I want to swap. This looks like Mark's kit. So it's like his dry kit. They've definitely been a change in mood, I would say. James in particular, zero chat.
Nice work.
Nice work, boys.
We're up at about 2,300 now, which is pretty much the same altitude as the training base in the Sierra Nevada mountains in Spain that the Norwegians use for their blocks of preparation. So it might be interesting for us to see how the guys are feeling working at that altitude where Christian and Gustav spend a lot of time. So we're at the same height as the Norwegians' training altitude base now. How's that feeling?
It's pretty high.
So a lot of breathing going on here. Not a lot of talking.
So Mark, we're up at the same altitude that Gustav and Christian do their preparation in Sierra Nevada. How's that feel?
Yeah, and they're probably busting out 350 watts at 90 RPM. Meanwhile, we're crawling. Literally top down the gears, grinding.
It's pretty eerie up here as well.
It is. I kind of just gotta, I'm just putting my head down now, not looking at the road ahead really. I can see in a second it's about to kick up for about half a K. Not sure how we're gonna fare.
We are approaching the visitor centre now. So this is T2 effectively for the boys. Because from here, they'll be on foot, is the plan, up to the summit. Still a long way to go.
All right, mate.
Feeling alright though?
Yeah, actually, like literally the last, maybe like, well, obviously felt pretty rough for the last like.
What do you need, mate?
I'm okay, just need a minute.
Yeah, definitely feel very dizzy. Like that last,
Just
probably,
the,
like, literally the last minute, I was like, whoa.
No, I felt that a bit before. That last steep section,
Yeah.
13 to 15%, and your legs just start that burn because they're not getting enough oxygen. You only go anaerobic for so long.
You look at the grade, like, I mean, it's steep, but
it is steep.
Not, you know,
Feeling
compared to UK climbs we are always doing.
Feeling pretty
Why
dizzy.
am I riding like 40 RPM?
Yeah.
Just can't push the pedals.
Feeling taking strain too because you're weaving all the time, so you kind of stabilizing.
How are you feeling about the run up to the top?
Yeah, I actually feel like it's probably going to be more of a walk, but I'm ready to like, well, not ready right now.
We're excited to give it a go.
Definitely.
We got to see how we go. It's
100%.
it's going to be a 5 to 6 hour round trip.
Yeah. Honestly, for most of the ride, I didn't really feel like this is the hardest triathlon I've ever done, or there's anything particularly strenuous about this.
No.
I mean, you're climbing the whole time. But those last 8Ks, 10Ks, it's got nothing in the tank.
Crack on, mate.
Got nothing in the tank.
No.
And it doesn't, and it's just relentless. Like, there's no point where you think, right, I can just spin my legs a little bit and then push on.
No.
You just have to keep grinding and grinding and grinding.
I wish you'd filmed it. There's a bit where we were barely moving.
Oh, sorry.
I was going 4.5 kilometres at one point.
Yeah, I actually genuinely thought we were going to fall off our bike because we were both just like, like we were going back and forth.
I know you guys want to gather yourselves, which is wise, but I think you also want to keep
before you shut down.
Keep hustling, yeah.
There are two route options up to the summit from the visitor centre, a more direct trail route and a longer gravel road option. We were advised that the road was faster and safer in the prevailing conditions, and as we may be fighting the daylight, we chose the road.
All right, we're T2 done, as you can see. We've changed into our running kicks. I say running, might be walking kicks. We've done 94 Ks, just over 3,000 meters of climbing. Got pretty strenuous at the end there.
I'm not even sure you could call it cycling.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It was a slow trudge, but we made it. It's been a pretty slow transition too, as we steel ourselves for what's to come, which is somewhere up there in the mist.
I don't feel like I've just walked out of a nightclub quite so much now.
Yeah, it was
definitely had that feeling when I first came in.
A bit dizzy and disorientated when we stopped the bike. Hopefully won't be too many of those feelings going further up now.
It's cold at the top as well.
It is. So we've wrapped up.
4 degrees.
But I reckon we should get going because if we sit around,
it'll be colder if it's nighttime up there. So let's get going.
3,
2, 1.
You go.
Good. Yeah, warm.
Colder, but
Getting warm, getting a bit of that leg burn going.
Found a Sherpa though, and he's kindly offered to carry my puffer jacket.
Mate, after watching you boys ride up that mountain, volcano, it's the least I can do.
Right now, I think we can actually make it. I feel okay. Obviously it's hard. I feel okay. The biggest issue is the light. I think we're going to run out of light.
It is
That said, we've still got a good 1,000 meters of elevation to go. So
just to update you, it is 1:30 p.m. The sun sets about 6:15, and it is dark by 6:45. So
we do not want to be up here in the dark.
And it could rain up here as well.
Yeah.
And snow.
Yeah, mad. On Hawaii, and it could snow. I've got this funny feeling right now where I keep wanting to like loosen my cap off. It just feels too tight.
Yeah,
I've gone to grab it and it's really loose. It's just my head.
My head's expanded. That's the heart rate. So we are taking the tactical pause. This is the equivalent of walking the aid stations, I guess, in an Ironman, although we're walking the whole run route and sitting down the aid stations. Get those fluids in up here. We are up there now in the clouds.
Well, literally just behind us, the ranger has disappeared off into distance, and he's told us, unfortunately, he's going to have to close the mountain because, well, as you can see, it's closing in a bit, and he said it's due to get worse.
Yeah, he says if it's less than 40 feet visibility, they have to close the road. He's going up to chase everyone down, and he said, you guys are just going to have to go down anyway.
It's a real shame because we were feeling great.
Absolutely.
We were knocking out sub 4 minute per K.
We were basically running up the mountain, but, you know, it is what it is.
What a shame.
Yeah. No, in all honesty, I'm a little bit relieved. I was starting to take strain, breathing really hard, and I'm a bit worried about the descent afterwards more than the actual carrying on up.
Yeah,
so,
we haven't got a shuttle bus or anything.
No, there's no gondola that goes down, so
it is really closing in, so we're gonna have to get going.
Yeah, it's starting to rain now
come back and do it again next year.
This guy. You walk backwards there, like you can't stretch out. Yeah.
So it's only been about 3 minutes since the ranger told us we need to turn. You know, we started heading back down, and it's now pretty much sleeting. Fingers are frozen. Quinn's had to put the camera away, which is why we're on a GoPro now, because the camera's getting wet, and we're still a good 4K from the visitor center. So yeah, good call to turn when we did. Yeah, it's been an adventure. We wanted an epic adventure, and it's finishing in an epic way, even if we didn't make it to the top. I think we might have to jog, Quinn.
Yeah, I think we need to go.
Yeah, let's go. So cold.
Why did we plan to do this in winter?
I've got icicles on my eyebrows.
I think we've hit Struggleville.
This might be the craziest challenge we have ever done.
Please don't try this at home. We've done some pretty silly things here at GTN. But this time, we're really up the ante. I mean, a couple of years ago, I actually did a half marathon every day for a week. And that was a lot more challenging than I expected it to be.
Well, this time, we've taken it up a level. A marathon, a day, for a week.
Yeah, and we're invite you guys along for the journey to see just how tough it is. And with the help of Whoop, we're going to be diving into the data that will quite literally show us how we're feeling and what is going on.
How ridiculously hard it is, basically. Well, we're about halfway through the whole challenge, like halfway through day 4. But let's rewind a bit so you can see how far we've already come. All right, marathon a day, day 1. How are you feeling, Mark? Ready for this?
I think
you summed it up perfectly there. That's how we're both feeling. I think we best just get running.
Yeah, we picked an interesting course today. It's kind of a fine balance, isn't it? Trying to find a course that's going to keep us interested but not too challenging. So we have got a little bit of a hill and climb in there, but trying to keep it fairly fast at the same
Hopefully
time.
you don't smash ourselves on the first day. But you don't want a flat, boring course either, so... Well,
right,
let's go see how it goes.
All right, should we do this?
Yep.
Heading
Ready,
that way.
steady, go.
Okay. It's a frosty morning.
It is a frosty morning.
We've done, well, turns out quite a bit of elevation today. It's a little bit more rolling and punchy than I anticipated, but yeah, we have mostly done all our climbing now. Could just ascend back down into Bath.
We are 17 kilometers into the first one.
Hour 30. I've actually worryingly got quite a few aches, which I sort of expected on the first day, and you sort of break yourself in. But
we're planning to run the aches out as opposed to make them worse.
Yeah, should happen. It always scares you a bit on day 1 though, and you're halfway, not even halfway through.
He says like he does 7 marathons in 7 days quite regularly, but it's a new one for me. Alrighty, on we go. I'm a bit worried my GPS won't record in here and it'll count this as my miles.
We're back on the canal. Got a little under 10k left to go, but I've got to be honest, the enormity of this challenge is really starting to sink in. We're both feeling a bit in areas, and yeah, we've got 6 more of these to do. Plus finish this one.
Let's just get through one at a time.
Yeah.
Bite-sized chunks.
This is the tough bit. So doing little laps just to add distance on. Just want to finish. We're so close to the finish.
Badly planned route, I'd say.
What's going on? You finished or not finished?
Yeah. What have I got? 42. Oh, I actually need like 20 more meters. Normally I don't run laps around the block to make an exact distance, but I'll make an exception this week.
Finish. Save that thing. Don't want that. Getting lost. Oh. Worryingly harder than I was hoping. And that's just day 1.
No aches or pains that I'd like just from fatigue. No injury niggles. But yeah,
speak for yourself.
Definitely feeling a little flat.
Good to see what the Whoop score is saying after lap day. Morning, day 2. Feeling pretty rough. It is just gone 6 a.m. I got up at 5:40, shoveled some food down, but I'm off early this morning because you can see, got my suit hat ready. I'm off to a wedding today for one of my best mates, a guy I live with at uni, so it's going to be a good wedding, which won't be good for the marathon on day 3. But yeah, I've got to get this marathon in quickly, and we're heading off soon after 10, so yeah, do the maths, it's going to have to be a quick marathon. I'm feeling sore this morning, and my Whoop score is rock bottom. I think it was 9% recovery, and it was flashing red in all sorts of areas. Probably not the sort of results you want when you're heading out to a marathon, but here we go. It's going to be cold. About 10k in. Obviously going solo today because it's starting so early. Understandably, James wasn't so keen to pop on over and head out quite so early. So I think he's running a little bit later. So far, so good. I mean, I might live to regret those words. First couple of K was incredibly uncomfortable. And then I probably warmed up after, 3 or 4K. Very cold at the moment, so not particularly warming up, but very stiff and very sore for the first couple of K. Going all right now, onwards. Day 2 done, worryingly a lot harder than I was hoping. Yeah, just sinking into the ground, can't push off. Oh, ouch, how am I gonna do this?
Just doing a bit of body maintenance before we go up for the next one. All right, enough procrastinating. Let's go get this done. All right, it's day 2, time for marathon 2, and the temperature is -2. Also, don't have Mark for company today, so got my music in an ear, and that'll have to do. No point procrastinating it though. Let's get going. Legs are feeling a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Take a little while to warm up. And it's not just the temperature. I do this update before the cold kills my batteries. I'm actually feeling okay. Legs are warmed up a bit. I don't know, major niggles. A little bit of tweaks here and there, but fairly confident we get through number 2. Bit boring on your own, I'm not gonna lie. So cold. I've got icicles on my eyebrows. I put one hill in my route for today. Thought one hill will be okay. Don't want a hilly route, but you want to change the muscles a little bit. Probably shouldn't have put it in after 30 kilometers. To be honest, when I started this, I wasn't sure I'd feel this good at the end of day 2. I mean, it is only the end of day 2. 5 more marathons to go, but 3 more Ks. I'm trudging a bit now. You don't want to see me trudging all the way there, so let's fast forward to the finish. Day 2, marathon 2, completed it. Time to go get defrosted and get the recovery going for marathon 3.
Probably can't see me. Gone midnight, heading back to my hotel. I'm a little bit drunk and I've got a marathon to do tomorrow morning. And I'm not sure alcohol in the system is going to be great for my Whoop scores tomorrow morning. Yeah, you can't even see me, can you? So this is fun.
All right, time to start day 3. I not feeling too bad. My Whoop says I'm fairly well recovered actually. Mostly body feels okay. Knees a bit niggly, but I think we'll be okay. Let's get it done. All right, update time. I'm doing a tactical walk because I have had a bit of a bad patch. Struggling a bit now. Problem is walking is so slow. I mean, I can walk the whole way, but it'll take me forever. So I need to run again. We have a bit of a tactical walk. I'm 2/3 through, just a serious dip in the old energy levels and motivation probably. Could do with some company on a day like today. All right, done. Completed it. That takes it to 126 kilometers in the last 3 days. Legs actually holding up okay. Could probably do with a bit of WD-40 on the old knees. But other than that, not doing too bad. Slowing down a bit though. Today was significantly slower than yesterday. I wonder how Mark's getting on.
Day 3 is underway. I mean, if you put money on me not starting today, I don't blame you. I certainly would. To be honest, didn't really have a chance to process yesterday's run. I was just set up early. Within half an hour of coming back in through the door, I was dressed up for a wedding and out the door driving an hour and a half to a wedding and then enjoying the wedding, had an awesome night. Stumbled in the early hours of the morning and thought, there's no way, my legs feel horrible, I feel horrific. Well, bizarrely, waking up this morning, all right, a bit of a foggy head, but my recovery on Whoop has crept up a little bit, back into double digits, only a little bit, and I'm also just feeling a lot better. I think yesterday I underestimated just how much the cold affected me. I had really worrying sensations in my legs. Welcome to British winter. This is like running through treacle. At least it's soft underfoot, I guess. Why did we plan to do this in winter?
Day 3 done. I'll be honest, I wasn't even sure I'd get today's done, so I'm mightily pleased and impressed with myself, if I do say so myself.
I'm a little bit worried about my feet, actually. My legs seem to be feeling a lot better today. No worries necessarily there, a bit sore, obviously. But my feet are just aching so much. So, getting reacquainted with all these guys, been a long time. Doing a bit of TLC. Get my body back in check, which I haven't actually had a chance to do since we started, because I've just been busy with weddings and all sorts. Now Whoop is flashing all sorts of red alerts to me everywhere, and the coach feature is telling me that I'm overreaching and I need to take a day off. Yeah, sorry, I've got another marathon to do. Been quite interesting, actually. You might find this interesting. I mean, everything is not looking good. And so, as I've probably said already, please don't try this at home, because yeah, everything that's coming up would suggest you need to take a day off at least. HRV has dropped way down from normally up, you know, almost at 100, now down to 33. Resting heart rate. Now this is interesting. It spiked right up to like 65. Normally it'd be low 40s. That might be due to last night. Alcohol in the system, so yeah, interesting. My sleep performance dropped, my respiratory rate has increased. In short, I'm on death's doors. It's not looking good. So yeah, I'm going to recover as hard as I can tonight, but it's not long because I've obviously done this run later. James is coming by at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, so yeah, wish me luck. Good morning, day 4. Made it here. I honestly didn't think we'd get to day 4. I am incredibly sore this morning, worryingly so. My feet just don't seem to have recovered. Legs not too bad, but my feet do not feel good. Anyway, James is swinging by mine in a couple of hours' time, and he thinks he's probably going to be waking me up after my big weekend with the wedding and whatnot. Reality is, it's 7:30 a.m. I've already been up helping renovate a house. Now we're in the middle of moving a house, renovating this one because it's got so much work that he's doing on it. Meeting decorators very shortly. I haven't even had breakfast, stretched, tried to tend to my feet that are killing. And yeah, on top of that, my partner's pregnant. I've basically chosen the worst time to do this. So whilst my body is gradually giving in on me, it may well be this that puts an end to this week, because yeah, it's getting pretty tough right now. And I would like to keep my relationship with my lovely partner, Cassie. So yeah, let's get through this marathon if we can, because I'm actually a bit worried about it. I think this one's going to be really hard. Interestingly, my recovery on Whoop this morning has bumped back up. My HRV has gone back up, but my resting heart rate is still incredibly high, which is weird.
All right, I am an hour and 7 minutes and 12 kilometers in. Arrived at Mark's house. Gonna see if he's awake after his wedding weekend and a late night run marathon last night. Let's ring the doorbell. Hey, there he is. He's out of bed. He's out of bed at least. What are we doing, Mark? We ready to go? Or are we having a coffee?
No, I'm good to go.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm just gauging what
I'm a bit disappointed about that, actually. I could do with a cup of coffee. It's pretty damp.
Do you want to come in for a sec?
I want to make your whole house wet. Hello, Reggie. Hello, Reggie. You come for a marathon? After 2.25 marathon solo, finally got some company.
And daylight for me.
And daylight for Mark, yeah. In the dark. Let's hope we can finish it in the daylight. we should be okay. It's a bit damp though.
Who chose this time of year?
Oh, James has just gone through a bit of a milestone.
Woo! I am officially halfway through the week. Halfway through the 4th day. 3.5 marathons down. 3.5 marathons to go.
I feel like he's rubbing it in because I've still got another 12k or so to get to that point. But
we are a little over halfway through the whole challenge for me. Halfway through day 4. Mark is a little under halfway because he started late today.
I have to say, probably less sure than ever that I can actually make it to the end. I mean, you'd think on day one I'd be less sure, but once you made it this far, you'd kind of have an idea whether you're going to make it or not. You sure you're going to make it, Mark?
I honestly don't know. I didn't think I'd start today. My feet are hurting so much. Legs actually feel all right, and that's the bit that surprised me, which makes me go, well, maybe I can carry on. But I'm not even halfway through today, so.
As I say, less sure than ever. We've got our work cut out for us. The weather is not helping. Probably shouldn't have done this in winter, Mark.
No.
In hindsight.
Good plan.
Should we do it again in summer? Maybe not. It's now or never, I think.
He's done.
And that is it.
Well done, mate.
Number 4 done for me.
Sadly,
Oh.
I'm not done. I've got about 12k left to go.
Significantly easier with some company, though, I have to say. Thanks for joining me.
Ah, no worries. Well done, mate. It has been good running with James. The time flew very quickly, but something tells me this final, well, I've got 10k left to go. It's probably going to go quite slowly. Got less than 4k to go, about 3.5k. All's going really well. And my glutes just giving up on me. Those glutes. Probably like Beyonce glutes now. Day 4, done. I'm ready for some food. Let's lie down and keep it sweet. Let's go indoors. Day 5.
How are you feeling?
I think this might be, I think I've said this every day, but this might be the deciding day.
The make it or break it day. And once you get through, it's only 2 marathons to go, but we do have to
Exactly,
get through
that's
today.
why I'm like, we're so close. Surely I can do this, but I said it time and time again, I'm just struggling to fit this in with everything going on in my life right now, and that's the bit that's really catching up with me.
Even though we're doing it in work hours.
Yeah, but when I finish my marathons, I'm literally like driving my car, going collecting stuff, doing renovation. I'm just,
It's easier to do that stuff on the back of a day sitting at your desk than it is a day running. So we're gonna get the last 3 days done. I am actually feeling pretty well recovered. My legs are really stiff. Today was the stiffest I've been. When I got out of bed this morning, I was like, oh, I feel like an 80-year-old man.
I've got compression socks on.
Oh, well played. I didn't do that today.
Well, yeah, I took your inspiration from yesterday.
Mine were a bit wet from yesterday. All right, let's get this done. Last talking. K's in, doing a tactical walk on this steep hill. I think the worst thing today is my emotional state. I am grumpy, not very enthusiastic about today's challenge.
I'm just keeping quiet.
Cursing every muddy puddle and every slip and every hill. Every twist and turn Mark's taking us on an adventurous route.
It's not great when you are the route planner and someone's not happy.
I don't like this route. Why can't we just run a simple route? Why are we adventuring on day 5 of a marathon every day?
Break it up.
Something's going to break up.
Right, we've changed the routes. I was a little bit ambitious today. It's that fine line between keeping it interesting and not so monotonous, and then actually just getting a bit silly. And
I think day 5 are monotonous. Maybe we should just brought out earphones and gone monotonous.
So we have turned around and we are heading down to meet Marek, our cameraman, and we're just going to keep it simple, I think. Maybe go on the 2 tunnels or something like that, which is a nice tarmacked route, do a bit of an out and back, and then we're meeting some folk later on.
Hey boys, thanks for waiting.
So quiet. It's very quiet. People's is hurting a bit. I'm in a deep dark cave.
At least he's still got a sense of humour. I'm sure it's just a patch. We've both had them numerous times through this, but never fun when it's early on. It sort of plays mind games a bit.
All right, we are a little over halfway through, day 5. How are we doing, James?
I'm shoving food and caffeine into my mouth as much as possible because I'm struggling still. It is one of those days.
My glutes
Bloody hell.
Well, you could have just said glutes, you didn't have to show us, but thanks.
I'm quite impressed. I feel like they're massive right now, but they're probably not. I thought there might be something to show.
And my quads are taking the strain a little bit. They're starting to feel that kind of impact strain where you every footfall kind of hurts a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, we get it done, hey.
Yeah, we also picked up a mate, Pete Dyson. He's come in just found us out here.
Yeah.
Suffering zombies on the canal. He's going to join us for a little bit, and then well, we'll let him go because we're going to slow us run down a bit.
We're definitely going to slow him down. Right, let's get going. I feel like I've come out of my hole a little bit now. Feeling a bit better. Mark and Pete are chatting away in the front. It's amazing how a bit of company gets you focusing on something else and not the pain in your legs, and you can move a bit better. I guess Mark's company just wasn't enough anymore.
Right, we're just shy of 30 km, and we actually planned today for, well, I'll just pick our morale up a little bit, to join some work colleagues, our Tuesday Run Club. A few of them have kindly come out.
Very fresh, I must say.
So yeah, gonna do 10k loop round Bath. Off we
Not go crazy people in the
I'm sorry, carrying stuff like that.
Why don't you just me to see? Day 5. Done.
That was a tough one, wasn't it?
That was not an easy one. I went through some really dark patches there. Thankfully we had Ollie join us. Hey. Say hello, Ollie.
How you doing, guys?
Thank you, Ollie. Ollie joined us for the last 13 Ks of that. I'll just get through the last third. Definitely did help.
Yeah, definitely has us questioning the next couple of days. It's so close. It's so far.
Anyway, 210 Ks the last 5 days. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
I need some serious recovery now, though.
All right, we're just heading off. Day 6.
Another cold one. And boy, I'm feeling it now.
Yeah.
Everywhere, aches and pains and niggles and everything.
Yeah, it hurts just walking. Yeah, we're actually going to go a little bit hillier today, which might sound like a mad idea, but actually, just running on the flat not only is a bit monotonous, you're just hammering the same muscle groups over and over again. So I'm quite excited to go a little bit lumpy. Hopefully, not too lumpy though. We might have to assess the route as we go.
I'm dubious.
But we have got some company, which we're going to go and meet in a second, so stay tuned. There's Leon! Hello. It's the end of Leon's career. Welcome to Stony Littleton Longbarrow. Supposedly in the top 10 oldest buildings in the world. And you can go inside.
I'm not sure my legs bend that far. You should have done this on day 1.
Found a bat sleeping. You can see his claws. We don't want to wake him up actually, because that would be really scary if it starts flapping around in our faces. Ah! Yeah, a little adventure. Onwards.
Mark's decided to open all the gates for us.
Questioning all my life choices. Should have been an accountant.
18 kilometers in, so you guys probably 21k in. And
yeah, 20, just over 20 and a half.
I think we've hit Struggleville yesterday.
I'm again scared of James because I planned the route.
Yeah, and James
okay?
James is scrabbling around looking for a caffeine gel, which I don't think I brought today, which is going to be a problem. Had to reach for the emergency reserves.
Firstly, I'm just surprised they're the emergency reserves.
I don't know where it says.
We'd rather start them earlier.
Yeah, I'll share the bit that says share size with you.
Leon's gonna leave us now.
Yeah, I'm 37.5 kilometers in.
The slowest long run pretty much ever, probably.
In time, yeah. Coming up to 4 hours.
Yeah, slowest pace he's ever done for a long run.
But the best company.
Yeah, it's definitely easier with other people.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Nice.
I'll be watching from the sofa tomorrow.
Sure, you don't want to join us?
No,
You're welcome, you're welcome.
I'm going back to the track.
We'll send you another message tomorrow and ask you.
Onwards. Day 6. Done.
Number 6.
Yeah, well done.
Completed it.
Yeah, genuinely didn't think we'd get this far, so...
Was a significantly slow one, partially because of the route significantly because of my pace.
What did you think of the route? I actually quite like the route. It sort of broke things up for us.
Mentally, it was a lot easier than trudging along the canal for 42 Ks, but physically, I mean, I'm not sure whether it's the route that was physically harder or the fact that my legs are actually gone now. But I had a long day out there. Well, yeah, I'm trying not to think about tomorrow.
It's like the hardest bit is I'm just not really recovering between now. It's just getting worse and worse. And
there's nothing you can do to actually recover in 20 hours before you go again. There's nothing left to solve the problem. You just have to push through. So anyway, we're going to try and recover, which means food. Feet up, get these wet socks off, and I've
got a milkshake waiting for you.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Thank you. Day 7. Yeah, here we go. Last day, and I'm glad it's the last day. Actually, at this point, I could take it or leave the last day. But once you commit to, I'm not very enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastic about being finished, and it's going to be a really cool thing to tick off. But I'm not looking forward to how much I'm going to suffer the next few hours.
Did you sleep okay?
I didn't sleep particularly well, no. The aches and stuff have just got to the point now where they actually keep me awake at night, so...
Yeah, I actually woke up partway through the night. I was like, is my toe broken? It's kind of hurting a bit weird.
It's getting bad, but
it's all right.
It will be cool to get it done, and literally it's only like a few hours of suffering now we're done. So let's get it done.
Now I'm excited. Let's do this. Yeah. I planned a fun route as well.
Cool, because that's what you need, a fun route on day 7.
Woo, cheers guys. Right, Pete has kindly joined us for the first, what are we, like
7.5 Ks, 8 Ks.
He's spinning around because he's got some meetings.
Things to do.
He's a busy man. We got a long way.
We got a long way to go.
We should just have a few quiet moments for Marek's trousers. We'll come back and review the result at the end.
Oh, I can't wait.
So Marek, the result, would you like to turn around? Oh, it's not as bad as I was expecting. He's done all right there, but that probably is a new pair of trousers, I'd say.
It's not over yet. Let's see what happens in...
Should start a little campaign. Hashtag get Marek new trousers.
Go fund me.
Yeah. Please save me.
2 to 3 kilometers to go. We're on the home straight.
I've got 2.2.
Oh yeah,
You can do 3 if you want.
Well, stupid guy here paused the watch for about half a K, so yeah.
That's going to hurt you.
That's going to hurt. But
I won't be joining you for that extra half K. Thank you very much.
Oh, man, what a journey. What a journey.
Are you disappointed it's nearly over, Mark?
No.
No, you neither.
Oh, I can't tell you how much my body is hurting right now. It's amazing when you know, or you can always see that finish in sight, what you can do. Definitely pick the pace up a little bit again, anyway.
Yeah, that mountain pony, we can smell home now.
Woo! Let's get it done.
There we go. Nice. Cheers. That was stupid. I should probably pause and watch. Yeah. If any of you think doing this, don't.
Definitely the stupidest challenge we've done.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
That was emotional at the end. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Oh, a couple of days have passed.
Yeah, been a couple of days since we finished our challenge. How are we feeling?
All right, actually. I did definitely feel a bit of a lull the day after, sort of just, I wouldn't say crash, but my body definitely sort of went into a sudden recovery mode. But now feeling surprisingly good.
I don't feel too bad. I haven't actually run again since we finished the challenge, so we'll see how that goes when I do decide to do that. But we're going to take a quick look at all the data from Whoop for this week, and it's quite interesting because we expected it to kind of just crash day after day after day after day and just slide down, and it didn't do that, which we'll get to why that is in a minute. Essentially, Whoop looks at everything. I mean, it's quite thorough, what it looks at. It's looking at your HRV, it's looking at your sleep hours, it's looking at your sleep quality, your REM versus your deep sleep, your disturbances, your time you go into bed, time you get out of bed, your body temperature, your resting heart rate, all of it. And it's compounding all that into an algorithm that's giving your recovery. And as we say, we expected our recovery to just go down because you're running a marathon and then on the back of a marathon, you're running a marathon. That's what you'd expect, right? But neither of us actually saw that. We saw after the first day, both of us went down. And then what happened was we kind of like settled and then went up again. And our recovery actually towards the end of the week was really good, which is surprising. And we asked Whoop about this and they actually explained that they see this quite a lot because it's the stage race effect. And essentially they see this even in Tour de France riders who wear their Whoop, where their body settles into a, right, I've got a thing to do and I'm just gonna get on with it. And it kind of gets to a stage race baseline where it just expects this amount of strain and it's going to recover. And because everything settles into rhythm, your Whoop detects that as you actually are fairly well recovered to do what you did yesterday again. And subjectively, that is exactly what we felt. That was accurate. We were at a point towards the end of the week where we were like, I don't feel good, I'm tired, but I could do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Now, interestingly, as James alluded to, we did sort of crash a bit after the first day. I definitely did. I sort of went into this actually, unfortunately, with a quite low recovery because of just things going on in life. And my recovery went down to 9%. And then the next day, had a wedding over the weekend and various things. It did come up a little bit. It was still in the red and 16%. Now, a bit of a disclaimer here. Of course, I was ignoring Whoop. At that point, you would probably, if you were using Whoop correctly, go, well, hang on, I need to back off here.
I need a day off.
So please don't try this at home. This was all in the name of science, but it was interesting, obviously, to see it recover.
Yeah, we weren't doing what Whoop says and listening to the advice. We were definitely ignoring that entirely. And it actually, Whoop was analysing the data and they got back to us and said, well, looking at your data, it looks like from this, Mark was hurting significantly more than James was during the week.
Was that the case?
I'm not sure that wasn't the case. Maybe Mark just has a better poker face than me and hit it better, but there were definitely days out there where I was hurting more than Mark and struggling more than Mark. But apparently the data says that Mark might have been a bit more in the red. Obviously his recovery went way down, but there's a key reason for this that they've looked at and found in the data. And that was that on average, I got 33 minutes more sleep every night than Mark did throughout the week. And obviously he had that wedding the first week. But on top of that, my bedtimes and my wake-up times were also really consistent, which is because I have 3 kids and they wake me up every morning at the same time. And also, once you get them to bed, you can't have dinner and then you're like, right, I'm crashing out every night. We're on the Groundhog Day in my house. Every day feels the same because you've got 3 kids and they have to have a routine. Whereas Mark headed off to a wedding.
Yeah. And it sort of confirms what I felt because, as I was sort of alluded to in the video, I had a lot of stuff going on. I was having to bounce between different places and my recovery was not great. So bedtimes and wake-up times were all over the place. And I felt that initially, but actually, in the latter stages of the week, got better sleep and saw the recovery bounce back up.
Yeah. Over the whole week, I had an average of 8 hours and 18 sleep per night, and Mark had an average of 7 hours 45 per night, but also my quality of sleep was better. So not only was I getting more sleep, I was also getting better sleep. Despite the few disturbances by my kids, it was still better than Mark's sleep. And that made a massive difference to my recovery. I mean, my recovery went way high towards the end. I was surprised how high it went towards the end of the week. So sleep is critically important when you're doing a stupid challenge, especially if you're not listening to your Whoop and your recovery advice. You do still need to really, really focus on sleep. So if you have a stupid stage race coming up, make sure you focus on that sleep. I think that's the takeaway from this whole video. Also that, and 7 marathons in 7 days is really hard.
It was very hard. Not recommended.
No, I don't think we'll do that again in a hurry.
Well, thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give this video a like if you have enjoyed it, but also for our efforts, please. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe. See you next time.
Thanks for watching.
We're at the end of our final run and just a little update on Marek's trousers.
Turn around.
Do you want to turn around for us, Marek? Sorry, Marek. I think we should start a little campaign, hashtag get Marek some trousers.
It was worth it for you guys.
Hey, yes man.